You asleep? That is actually my cat asleep. One sec. Why are you sleeping? Huh? Look at her. Go on. Hello everyone, welcome to PsychAssist. Like if you're liking this, we're back for another episode. I'm super excited about this episode because it's the #1 question that we get asked here at PsychAssist, and that is, what do assistant psychologists actually do? But before we get into this episode, please can you do us a massive favor? We are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2018. So if you can see that subscribe button, please just click it and help us get to our goal of getting to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2018. Now, I've lost track of how many times psychology graduates or students have asked us the question, so what do assistant psychologists actually do? What do you do on a day-to-day basis that makes assistant psychologist jobs these amazing roles? And that's always made me laugh. Because in my head, I'm thinking psychology graduates and psychology students, they break their necks, they absolutely kill each other to get these jobs, these assistant psychologist jobs, and 90% of them don't actually know what they do. So that's why we thought we'd make this video, just to show psychology students and graduates exactly what assistant psychologists actually do. Now, within this video, we'll be talking about 3 aspects of the job role, but we did write an article on our website that outlined 8 aspects of this assistant psychologist job role, which you can check out. The link will be in the description, so please check that out if you want to know a little bit more about what assistant psychologists actually do. Now, let's get into the first one. The first one is scoring psychometric tests. Now, before you freak out and think, oh my God, what is a psychometric test? I've never heard of it. I'm never going to be able to do it. Just relax. Basically, what a psychometric test is, it's a questionnaire or a form that you give to a patient or a client or whoever just to find something out. So let's say if a patient has high levels of anxiety, there's a psychometric test that's used to find out the levels of anxiety and also the causes of anxiety. And there's a specific way to score those measures. So typically, assistant psychologists are expected to take those forms, either to fill it out with the client or the patient, and then to go away and to score those psychometric tests. Now, usually your supervisor, whoever, will give you some sort of training or at least tell you how to score these psychometric tests, and they're usually super easy. Usually they've got some sort of online system that you can go on and put in the responses and it'll generate some sort of results. So don't worry, usually they're not that hard. And don't forget, if you are in those situations where you feel like, oh, I don't really know what I'm doing here, always ask your supervisor or just ask for help. Everyone is there to help you develop as a clinician, and this is part of it. Knowing how to score psychometric tests is something that you'll use 10, 15, 20, 30 years down the line. Now, the second one is less glamorous, and that is admin. Now, unfortunately, in every single job role, there is some sort of admin that you have to do. Sorry, you can't escape it. But this does vary between AP roles. Some AP roles will have very little admin, whereas other AP roles will have a lot of admin. It just depends on your supervisor and your team and what your role within the team actually is. Now, I know with myself, when I first started my AP role, there was a lot of admin because the service was quite new. So I was helped building the service and building processes and things like that. So there was a lot of admin and not a lot of clinical experience at the beginning. But as time went on, my clinical experience and my clinical load got bigger and bigger, to the point where it was about 50-50 of admin and clinical experience. And that's very typical in a lot of AP roles. It will be very 50-50. And the reason why I want to highlight this is I don't want psychology graduates or students to think that, oh, as soon as I get an AP role, I'm just going to be seeing clients 24/7. That's not the case. Usually it's a balance between clinical experience and doing clinical work and admin, and it's all about balancing the two. And the last aspect that I wanted to highlight is facilitating groups and seeing clients one-to-one. This is the exciting stuff. This is the stuff that when you think about being an AP, this is the stuff that you want to do. This is the fun stuff, the exciting stuff that qualified psychologists do, that you're getting in on the action. But one thing I did want to highlight is this can be equally as stressful. Just think about it. You have to, one, develop slides or, develop material for the session. Then you have to send out the invitations. Then you have to make sure that the client knows about your session or your group or whatever you're running. And then on top of that, you have to sit and pray that people actually turn up to your intervention or the client actually turns up. It's super stressful, but it is equally rewarding when you've sat down with a client one-to-one or you've facilitated a group and you see the faces on the people that attend your group or the client that you've just seen and you know that you just helped them. That is an amazing, amazing feeling. And that's it for this episode of PsychAssist. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Like I said, we highlighted 3 aspects of what assistant psychologists typically do. But if you want to know a little bit more, there is a link in the description of an article that we wrote that gives you a little bit more about what assistant psychologists actually do. But thank you so much for tuning in, and please, please, please click that subscribe button. We are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2018, so please, please, please help us reach that goal. Thanks for watching PsychAssist. Like if you're liking this, and I'll see you next time.